for people who say I don't care what somebody ate or what somebody did. Right? I always give the example of my dogs, right? If I tweeted, hey, I'm not feeling well, wouldn't that be a great opportunity for the people who dog sit or bathe my dog to respond, hey, bring Precious over and we'll give her a bath, we'll take care of her for the day. So caring about those little things is the beginning of how you can become successful, either on Twitter or any of the social networks. Think about how you can help your customer. It's the same as if they walked in the door, right? So I created the infographic, and for some people who know that the first time I created the infographic, it had a grammatical error in it, maybe two. And then something amazing happened. It went viral with the grammatical error in it. Because I'm very visual, I saw what the designers created, and I thought, I love it, send it out, post it. I did a PR web release. And of course it's going to go viral because that's what I wanted it to do. So a blog called Bit Rebels picked it up. And so far, I also did a slide share presentation of the corrected infographic. Right? So the image has an error, but the slide share is correct. So they kindly posted both the image and the slide share. And just from their blog sharing my infographic, it has had 17,910 views, just from their blog. And you can see how many people tweeted it from there, how many people liked it. And what's interesting is at the end of that infographic, it says, hi, I'm Cheryl Lawson. Follow me on Twitter. And if you'd like to learn more, or would you like to hire Cheryl to speak, contact Cheryl here and here and here and here. So sharing is caring, right? And then a site called Edudemic shared the infographic. And they actually even gave more education about the infographic. There are 45 tips. I don't even think I counted the tips, right? Oh, there's 45? Perfect, thank you. And then, so they actually then even gave their readers a breakdown of what the infographic told them. And you can see from just their post, 12,800 views of just the slide share, and then all of these people tweeting it, 1,400 people tweeted, 9 people on Google+, a lot of 300 and some odd people pinned it on Pinterest. So now this thing has gone viral about a topic that I thought everybody was either in or out, right? Why are people still talking about Twitter? And then this happened. One Sunday afternoon, I'm sitting on the couch or the chair with my computer next to me, of course, because that's how you watch TV now, right? With Twitter and other devices open. And I have a tab on Hootsuite. Those of you who don't use Hootsuite, we'll talk about it in a second. I have a tab on Hootsuite with the search terms, how to use Twitter infographic. Because that's how the blog posts are. And so I want to see anybody who's tweeting about that infographic. So I can respond to them, I can connect them, I can thank them for sharing. And so one Sunday afternoon, that feed blew up. What the heck happened? I was getting 1 or 2 a day, maybe 10 a day at best after the Bit Rebels post. All of a sudden, Alyssa Milano retweets the Bit Rebels post of my infographic. And I don't know if you know, Alyssa Milano is huge on Twitter. Everybody, I mean, she has just rebranded herself on that platform. And so now I have hundreds of thousands of people retweeting my grammatical error. My mom's an English teacher, by the way. Did I tell you that? But you know, I wanted to share that with you because things can go viral because they are popular and because people want to know about it. I've had several people tweet me how they use that infographic and the slide share particularly for their classes, for training. So instead of rehashing the old one, I created a new one just for you. So a lot of the same tips, but just a little robust, I think, and some examples of why I think what you should be doing and how I think you should rock Twitter, and I'd love to get your thoughts about it, so we'll have some time. There's also a couple of case studies on how a brand or two is rocking Twitter, and one that's maybe not so much, at least they didn't. So, first things first, right? Okay, so I said you had to care, but then you have to look good. Right? So before you start to tweet, upload a photo of yourself, preferably of yourself. If you have a logo, that's fine, but if you're a logo, people like to connect with people. So maybe try doing a little mashup, right? Your photo with the logo underneath it. You didn't know I was going to do that, did you? That's me and Sheila. So it helps because now you can tell people, hey, here's who's tweeting for this account. Make it personal. Now, there are some people and brands who can just be the logo, right? I wouldn't rather have Frito-Lay or General Motors, right? But those are big, big brands. If you're a personal brand or a small business, put a face to who tweets. And for those of you who joined me last year in my session, I talked about Twitter for pet-related communities. So if you have a business and you have a dog in your office or a cat in your office, let them be the face and tell the stories and give them the voice. Because it really is about who is the voice. Who's talking? Whose personality is it that we're connecting to? Right? So Stacy talked about how she has her own personal accounts and then she has Vocus. But still, she speaks. It's her voice, right? It's her voice. Or the brand's voice. So for those of you interested in SEO or search engine optimization, Twitter, you saw my face up there where my Twitter account showed up. Name your photo. Right? We take photos here and we upload them and they're named, xyz123.jpg. Well, that's great for short term. But when you go back home tonight, go in and rename all those photos. Social Media Tulsa Conference, I'm the new expert, right? I'm now a social media savvy person because I was at this conference, whatever it is. Because those photos then become searchable in Google and on Twitter and on all of the search engines that use search. Make sure you complete your bio, right? That little section that says who you are. It should say who you are and what you tweet about. It can be funny, it can be cool, but it should say something more than I'm awesome, unless that's pretty much all you want to say, right? Some people it works for, Angel. So hashtags can now be used in your Twitter bio. When I first did this infographic, it wasn't necessarily so on a wide scale. I think they were just doing beta testing. But let's say you're in the digital health field. In your Twitter bio, you can say digital health pioneer and use the hashtag digital health. Or if you're the official SM Tulsa Twittress, you can use the SM Tulsa hashtag in your Twitter ID, and then it becomes searchable. But don't go crazy, right? You've seen them. I know you've seen them. This hashtag I love cats. Hashtag team cats. Hashtag team, what was that? Hashtag I said I love cats. Team, oh. Right? So you've seen them. I know you've seen them on Team Follow Back, Team Android, Team Apple, right? So don't go crazy with the hashtags. Use them to label what it is that you talk about and the communities that you want to belong to. Yes, hand. Ooh, go back. Okay, so the question was, what's a hashtag? And it's a great question. A hashtag on Twitter is anytime you put the pound sign in front of a word. So we've been talking about hashtag SM Tulsa. So pound SM Tulsa is the hashtag that you use to find the conversations about this conference and us and our community. If you use the hashtag digital health, you will find everybody talking about digital health right now, real time. So if those of you who are logged into Twitter, I'd like for you to just do this exercise on your Twitter accounts. If you haven't started your Twitter account, you can do it later. But tweet this phrase, "I'm interested in," and then put the pound sign in front of the word. So if it's marketing, if it's internet, if it's Twitter, or if it's the web, if it's health, put that hashtag in front of the word, no spaces, and then tweet that. What you'll see is that hashtag then becomes a live link that you can click on to see everybody talking about that topic right here, right now, in real time. Now, what does that do? Well, some of those people you may decide, hey, let's follow them. If you search the hashtag SMTulsa, or if you tweet I'm at SMTulsa with the hashtag #SMTulsa, go back to your profile and you'll see that it now is a live link. If you click on that, you'll see everybody who is tweeting about SMTulsa. And you'll see all of Sarah's tweets, you'll see some of my tweets, you'll see photos. How many people are using hashtags on Instagram and just didn't know what they were? Okay, right. You know what they were. Okay, so on Instagram, when people upload photos, they're putting the pound sign, Insta gorgeous, Insta baby, Insta dog. It's really cute to talk about what you want. Hashtags can be used in any circumstance. So if you have a business meeting and you want everybody to tweet the same hashtag, you can create your own hashtag. It's the Wild Wild West. Just be careful if somebody else is using the hashtag, you might crash their party. So search it first. So in that search field on Twitter, you can search for the hashtag you'd like to use, and you should be able to use it. And I'll show you this on my computer live here in a second. Also, you want to include your website or your blog in your Twitter profile. Right? And it would be helpful if you also included a landing page or a specific link so that you can start to track and be smart about how many people came to my website or my blog from my Twitter profile. And so I just use the example partyaficionado.com/Twitter. I don't think anything's there now, but it is a live link. So now I can start to determine, okay, this Twitter brought this many people to my site. And you can use things like Google Analytics or whatever. And I know there's some other people who are going to be talking about search engine optimization and Google Analytics later. To find out how people get to your site. And I can always answer those questions too. Did that answer your question about hashtags? I didn't hear. Yes, no? Really, yeah? Really, yeah? Or you're just saying yeah? Okay, yeah, really, really? Okay. Okay, cool. So this may be a little too advanced for somebody, some of you who aren't using Twitter now, but there are sites that allow you to automatically send direct messaging and thank people for following you. Stop it now. If you're doing it, let it go. Yeah, I went there early. And so here's the deal. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So there are, because you don't know, I'm not going to repeat it because I don't even want you to learn it, right? Don't learn it. There are systems that let you automate things, right, and greet people. So think about Twitter like a cocktail party. Somebody comes up to you, you wouldn't say, hey, how you doing? Now scram and go to Facebook. And that's what those sites allow you to do. Basically, they're just telling you, hey, welcome to my page. Now go somewhere else. Right? It's okay to greet people, thank them for following you, ask them what they're interested in, find out what they're interested in. There's also sites that say, hey, this person uses a verification. I'm not going to mention them because we're streaming. A verification to make sure you're a human. Please click this link to verify you're a human. Really? It takes 2 seconds. If I follow you, click on my Twitter ID. It's a live link as well. If I follow you, click on the link, and you'll see that I'm a human. And you can follow me back or choose not to. And that's another thing, like the follow to follower ratio that a lot of people are concerned about. Follow who you want to follow, right? Follow the people you find interesting and you want to have conversations with, right? There is no set rule that says if I follow you, you have to follow me back. Right? It'd be great because I love to talk. But if it's not your cup of tea, don't sweat. Okay, so to use Twitter best when you first start out, try listening first. Right? Twitter gives you some suggested people to follow. I would say use those hashtags first to find interesting people to follow. I'm getting the blank stare, so here we go. For those of you more advanced, just hang on. The professor in me. So for those of you who aren't signed up, if you go to twitter.com, this is where you would go to sign up on Twitter. Sign up. It's pretty easy. When I used to do this in my classroom, I'd have to cringe because my classes were at night, and I follow my younger brother and some of my younger cousins who use Twitter in a completely different way than I would. And so every now and again, there'd be some language and maybe some Twitter battles and a few comedians that I wouldn't necessarily want my classes to see. So, so there's no right way. Uh-oh, what's my password? Oh, I didn't change that one. And then I'm going to show you this guy. No, thank you. Okay, so this is my Twitter home page, right? So we'll go real basic for a little bit. So here is what you see when I'm home on Twitter is here's where I see all of the people I'm following. Hey, Angel. Dear automatic toilets. I'm sorry, you tweeted it. You tweeted it. Okay. Yeah, they do flush before you kind of get your business going. But anyway. Now we know a little bit more about Angel. So here are the people that I'm following and what they're tweeting right now as we speak. If I wanted to find out what was happening with SM Tulsa specifically, I have a saved search. I'm not going to show you how to do that, but you can type in the # SM Tulsa. There it is. And now here are all of the people who are tweeting about SM Tulsa, at SM Tulsa. Hey, Marty. So Marty just tweeted, Marty Coleman, at the Napkin Dad, just tweeted, other Marty, I'm interested in finishing my presentation so I can get to SM Tulsa. Right, so Marty must be watching us live on stream. Hi, Marty, thanks for that. And so you can see here where everybody who's using the hashtag, including Sarah and Cynthia and Danica and Jill. Hey, Ansley. Right? Oh, there's Lori Rotmeyer and Becky. Right? So you can see, oh, there's a nice little photo. Right? So you can see all of the people tweeting in the hashtag as we speak. Right? So if you tweeted that I'm interested in and then went back to your home screen or just looked at your profile, you'll see that SM Tulsa became a live link, and if you click on it, you'll see the tweets. Right? If you tweeted, I'm interested in marketing, click on that link and see everybody talking about that right now. I also talked about Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a way to allow you to manage multiple accounts, and I'll get to that in a second in the talk, but I use Hootsuite quite a bit because I manage a few Twitter accounts, right? I have several Twit personalities. I don't recommend it, by the way. Don't do what I do. Do what I say. Isn't that? Yeah, I'm a professional, right? Don't do what I do. Don't try this at home. Okay, so the biggest thing, I think Stacy talked about this too, is while Twitter is great for finding news, not everybody has to be a news source, right? Breaking news, I always like to say breaking news is usually never breaking nor news, right? When you see people tweeting it on Twitter. So let the news organizations break news, unless it's something that you're breaking, right? Because that's how the rumors that somebody said, I hate those things, that's how some of the rumors get started and spread. Because everybody's trying to be first to get the news story out instead of just trying to connect. And it's great to find news, don't get me wrong. But still, find people you want to have conversations with. Find people you want to make those connections with on Twitter. And don't think of it as just a walking billboard. Some of you do that on Facebook, and all you have to do is just kind of minimize it on Twitter. And it's okay to post things about your business or what you're doing, links to your website or your blog. You just have balance between the conversation you're having with individuals and what you're promoting. And please promote your friends as well. So there are, for those of you who are really advanced, I use Tweet Chat to follow Twitter chats and Twitter conversations a lot. There's also a master Twitter chat list. So just about every day, there is a subject matter conversation on Twitter, usually tied to a hashtag. So there's a digital health conversation, there's an agricultural conversation, there's a edu hashtag, edu chat, there's an HR chat for people who are HR professionals, there's a hire me one for people looking for a job, there's job chats, pet chats. I mean, every topic that you can think of, there are people talking about it and people scheduling tweet chats about it in real time. So here's a link, and I'm going to upload all of the presentations, by the way, in one folder, and you'll all have access to them. So don't sweat it, right? That you have to remember all these links, but you will have access to them. This is a bit.ly link, which is a shortened link, and it's a master chart of all of the Twitter chats that are registered and going on every day, every week. Find the one that interests you and jump in the conversation. The good thing about Twitter and social is that you already have permission to talk to me because I'm there and you're there. Don't be shy. Right? If I'm there, you're there, let's chat. Right? If your account is private, I probably won't chat with you because I think you don't want to talk to me. So there's that. So again, Twitter allows you to tweet 140 characters. For those of us who use blog posts and titles in our blog posts, party aficionado is a long word. .com/anything else is even longer, and 140 characters doesn't really work. If you copy and paste your link into twitter.com, Twitter will automatically shorten the link. So you can say what you need to say and then let Twitter do their job. Okay? And then Hootsuite also has a link shortener, and bit.ly also has a link shortener. Right? So you plug them in, it shrinks your URL, and now you can talk a little bit more. Okay, use a Twitter client if you have multiple Twitter accounts. I just showed you Hootsuite, but Hootsuite not only lets you manage multiple Twitter accounts, but you can manage your Facebook page, you can manage Google+, you can manage Foursquare if you have a venue or a retail establishment. You can see people who have checked into your location. Right? I think there's tons more. You can see your blog. You can see WordPress, I think, has a connection on Hootsuite. But you can connect just about every one of your social networks on Hootsuite and manage it in a dashboard kind of way, right? So everything in one place. So if you're having to log into Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all those things in one time, Hootsuite is a great way. The people who use TweetDeck, and the reason I took TweetDeck out of this presentation is because it's going away. I think July 1st, TweetDeck is out of here. So, sorry, TweetDeck fans. All right, so what do you tweet? What are you going to tweet? Now with the advent of wonderful photos and Vine that Stacy talked about, those little short videos that are really great tools to talk about what you're doing and how you're sharing. So tweet photos, videos, tweet helpful information, tweet your blog post. Hey, I just posted a great blog. Marty, the Napkin Dad, is really good about posting his new napkins and his new drawings in several different ways. He'll post the link to it. He'll post a description of it. Sometimes he'll post his motivation for it, right? Here's what my motivation was for this post, right? So it's okay to repurpose your content. Just don't make it kind of robotic, right? You can talk about your journey in the process of tweeting. So, and then you can tweet all these different things, right? You know, everything has a Pinterest link or a Twitter link on Pinterest, on SlideShare. If you do a lot of public speaking and you have your PowerPoint or your Prezi presentations uploaded to SlideShare, share those, and also share those of your favorite people and people you enjoy following. Because sharing other people's content shows what you're interested in, what you dig, so that I can dig you too if that's the thing I'm interested in, right? The good thing about social is that you can connect with people and do business with people who already dig you before they've even met you, right? Before you've talked first. They know your voice, they know who you are, they know what you stand for, they know how goofy you are, how geeky you are. I think everybody on Twitter knows when I'm having a meltdown. You know, I do something called virtual scream, and I just tweet it. And I don't do a whole lot of complaining about it. I just do virtual scream, and everybody knows, right? Or I use the poker term, smoky. So if anybody plays online poker, they know that the games have the guys smoke coming out of their ears. And so sometimes I'll let people know. But sharing is caring, right? Share the things that you like on Twitter. So on television, how many people have seen on their favorite television show or movie trailer hashtag, the pound sign that says, you know, Real Housewives of Atlanta? Come on, I'm not the only one. All right, R-O, what is it? Real R-H. Okay, I knew you had it. So now mainstream media is getting involved in hashtags. You see it from movie trailers to television shows. Every single television show that I watch has a hashtag. And if it doesn't, we'll probably create one if there's more than one or two people who like that show, right? Scandal's a big one. While you're watching TV, use hashtags to join the conversation, right? Talk about your favorite housewife or your not so favorite housewife if you don't like the show. Why is everybody into the housewife things, right? Or HBO does a lot of hashtagging on their shows. Right? Use the hashtags to talk about what you enjoy. And your favorite businesses. You like somebody, find them on Twitter. I remember, there was a time when I would see somebody on Twitter, or I'd want to say something good about a business, and they weren't on Twitter, it would upset me. I can't talk to you or give you praise if you're not on Twitter. Right? All right, so give to your favorite nonprofit organization, or if you are your favorite nonprofit organization, and then ask your friends to do the same. Okay? Remember, sharing is caring. Hey, I just gave $20 to the Humane Society of Tulsa. Here's the link if you'd like to do the same. Be helpful, share information. You can change the world. Okay? If you are a business, what do you tweet about? Tweet helpful information about your business. Everybody has a frequently asked questions, right? People will be searching for that. What time are you open? What time do you close? Are you open on the holidays? What's on the menu? What's the special? Okay. Do you have any special services, right? So somebody talked about Groupon and Living Social. If everybody's doing that, do something else. Go on Twitter, create your own hashtag, and say, hey, Twitter friends, if you come in today, or if you tweet this hashtag, you win the discount. Switch it up, right? I'm not a big fan of Groupon and Living Social just because, I came from the automotive industry. Once you start discounting, that's where you have to be. Right? Everybody waits for the sale. So, if you want to do a different thing, then you can make it fun and gamify it, right? The word gamification comes up a lot. So, again, tweet special offer. Tweet, hey, if you're a Twitter follower, here's what you get, here's where we're going to be, especially if you are one of those wonderful food trucks. If you're open on the holidays, this is one of my biggest pet peeves that people don't do. If you are open on the holidays, if it's snowing outside but your people got into work, tweet it, Facebook it, whatever you got to do. Hey, we're here for you from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Right? Happy Festivus, Shalom. Right? Come on in. Right. I'm the only one Festivus. Anyway, so everybody is tweeting, I'm hungry, what's for dinner, what's for lunch. Right? Even if they don't respond to you, at some point they're going to be asking the question, what's nearby? If you're already in their feed or they've created a list of food trucks, which I have, that I can go to quickly and see who's near me. Even if nobody responds, they want to know. Okay, so here's one example really quickly that we'll run through of how a business, and it's my friend Ramon De Leon, and I told him I was going to do this. Ramon's going to come to Tulsa one of these days, I promise you. He was going to do it this year, but we couldn't get our schedules together. But I was sitting, again, watching football, opening day, as I do, with my laptop, with Twitter, and somebody tweeted, you've got to go and watch this interaction between Ramon De Leon and a customer. And here's what I saw. Customer had an issue, right? And this was a tweet. Ramon De Leon, she tweeted directly to the guy she knew who was the general manager of all of the Domino's stores in the Chicago area, or at least in that region. Hey, Ramon, see, you're on Twitter. I'm giving you permission to talk to me now, right? Worst experience ever today at your Clark store. Came in for carryout and waited for an extra hour for our cold food. Please help. Yikes. Right? We've all had those experiences where our service wasn't as great as we'd like it. So here's what Ramon did. He responded, are you still there? And then he retweeted her response so that everybody following him could see that he was reacting to it and on it. So, worst experience ever today at our Clark store, unacceptable, hashtag, oops, sorry. Unacceptable, hit the wrong button, hashtag, I'm on it. Right? Don't fear it, respond. And then she responded. She still might be unhappy, right? Unfortunately, we are home already. Not normally one to complain, but this was truly unacceptable. Right? So she took his words and was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, it was. Right? So he could have gone away, but he didn't. He retweeted her angry response, followers again, and responded, I'm sending you, I made you miss half of the game, so I'm sending you to a home game. Direct message your information. That's how you use direct messaging. Okay? Make it personal. Hey, send me your email address, your phone number. I'm going to solve this. What? 2 tickets to a home game? Hello, I'll take it. And so he also responded in a way that I don't think most people would. I'll also hate her and wow your next football party. Domino's Clark fail, he created his own hashtag for his own failure. Today on Bears home opener will not notice. Sorry. It's okay to respond and then do something, right? You have the power to do it. You would do it for a customer who came in your store and was not happy. Right? Address it, right? He said and let everybody know he was going to address it with the management of that store. Right? it would happen anyway. Let people know, hey, we know we made a mistake. We're going to address it with that store. And then guess what? Yay, customer is happy. Right? The generosity of Ramon de Leon, he turned things around today. The proactive response was a pleasant surprise. That's how you turn people around immediately in real time when they were so upset. And I mean, cold pizza. Right? And so now she's like fan for life. She's now tweeting back in Chicago, eating a late night Domino's dinner and resting up for tomorrow's Bears game, thanks to Ramon de Leon. Uh-oh, Ramon, wow, hashtag. Right? Now she's telling everybody she's going to the game, thanks to him. And she did a picture from her seats and thanked him again. Now, she doesn't have a lot of followers. This isn't somebody that, oh my God, they have thousands of followers, I need to get on this. This was just a customer who wasn't happy. But wait, there's more. The second football season came, and here's Ramon. He tweeted, I think Ramon Wow should cater your opening today Bears game dinner. So the following football season, he sent her more. Right? Crazy, right? Cray. Right? And then, so she's like, oh, you twist my arm? I'll take a free pizza party on game day, on opening day. Okay? So here's one. People in Tulsa remember that one. Okay, so here's one that wasn't so pleasant. Our friends at a coffee shop not too far from where we are today tweeted this nice little tidbit a few years ago. No breastfeeding at Double Shot, thank you. What do you think happened? Firestorm. Mommies went off. And not just in Tulsa, everywhere. People were tweeting. I noticed this was a conversation. Somebody said, I've never seen so many people tweet, I wish I lived in Tulsa. Right? Because they wanted to go and boycott this place. Right? And what's happened here isn't uncommon, right? You make some snarky remark that you think is cute at the time, and then, oh, that was really stupid. And it caught on. And they didn't have a lot of followers, and guess what? They did. But he didn't stop. Hey, stop, right? Stop the bleeding, let it go. If you mess up, fess up, right? Everybody's human. Hey guys, sorry about it. Tweets live on forever, but there are times when you might want to just delete it. Hey guys, it was, I had too much coffee or not enough coffee or something. But no, there you go. So then, after the firestorm continued, and he was on the evening news for a lot of local and national stations about the tweet originally and how he handled the tweet heretofore, he could have just said, so sorry. But no, didn't expect that it would blow up, sorry, to get you guys so riled up. Now, I don't know if you know a lot about women, guys. The last thing you want to say is, I'm sorry you guys got riled up about that whole deal, right? This is second to calm down, right? You don't want to say something like that. So it didn't get better. But look who was the smartest coffee company in the world. Our own downstairs Topeka said, Tulsa's most breastfeeding-friendly coffee shop. Right? That's what listening does, right? That's what paying attention to the conversations happening. You might be looking at the guy and going, oh, this is madness. I'm not jumping in there. But they did the exact thing you were supposed to do. Get in, get out, say what you have to say. Be funny. Right? Have a good time. Right? Again, if you're holding events, something like this, create a hashtag. It's allowed. You're You have my permission. And watch everybody go crazy. And pay it forward. So you're now the Twitter experts. So make sure you share with your friends. And that's how this thing ends. So are there any questions? I think we still have maybe 2 minutes left. Any questions? And I'll go back to Twitter. Questions? Yes? Yes, sir? Uh-huh. So for those of you who weren't watching the Super Bowl on Twitter, like all of us, because I watched the Super Bowl on Twitter, one, to see what people are saying about the ads, right, because we have something called Ad Bold or Brand Bold that we watch and we talk about the commercials. When the lights went out in the big game, there were some really smart brands who jumped on the opportunity, right? Oreo cookies was one of them, and they just tweeted a picture of, you don't need light to dunk an Oreo cookie, right? They had already spent millions of dollars on advertising for the Super Bowl, but that one tweet got them more press, more retweets, more attention than anything else they had spent gazillions of dollars on to do the Super Bowl ad. And a lot of companies did the same thing. Tide did another one during the blackout, right? We might not be able to get your stain out. See, I see them tweeting, laughing, because they're laughing at something somebody tweeted, and probably the tweet you tweeted about Domino's. I saw it. I saw it. See, and this is how you can use Twitter, because now I usually talk to people address people by their Twitter IDs anyway. Right? You've been Kirstie Ann. Boobs. Who doesn't like boobs? No, but I saw your nasty Domino's pizza tweet too. See? I bet you Ramon responds. But anyway, but anyway, that's one way. But it wasn't a mistake. They had their social media team in-house watching the game, watching tweets, watching what was happening. They had like a listening party, if you will, or a tweeting party during a big event. And you can do the same thing. It's not an accident that those things happen. It's, hey guys, this is a big opportunity, let's be prepared. They didn't have to go, here's a picture we want to send, let's send it to corporate, and then make sure legal is okay with it, and then send it back. Because real time, it doesn't work that way. So if you're going to do it, you have to be prepared to respond, react, and then move on to the next thing. Because remember our 6-minute our attention span, or was it 7 minutes? Seconds, right? Uh-huh. Ooh. Telling you that the TV networks should be paying Twitter big time, because must-see TV hadn't been around since Seinfeld, and now I saw that look. Cynthia gave me the okay look, and so, but it's true. We haven't really been forced to go home to watch television in a long time. And now people are wanting to watch when it's on so that they can tweet and Facebook and share with their friends. There it is. Yep. Yep. Exactly. I didn't watch the pageant, but I do know who won. Yep. Right. So any questions? I think we're almost done, and I think lunch will be here in huh? Lunch is next. I'm always between you and your food, I think. Any questions about Twitter or comments about how Twitter can help you? Any questions about, well, what about my business? Anybody watch the Twitter feed for the Bassmaster Classic that was here a few weeks ago? I was obsessed with it. John got me into it. I'm so mad, too, because I wasted a lot of time. I could have really made this presentation better. I wasted a lot of time watching the tweets about people fishing. But it was fascinating. One, because there were so many people that you wouldn't expect to be using Twitter to talk about fishing and the expo and who's caught this and how much this weighed. I mean, it was a huge production. And I was just fascinated by how many people were tweeting about this event. And the event organizers were awesome, by the way, with social media, and they had it everywhere. And to the point where I actually went to the expo. I had to go see the shiny boats and the fishing things, and I haven't been fishing in 20 years. But it was fascinating. And so the story is, you cannot tell me your customers are not on Twitter. You can't tell me that. Yes, sir. Right. 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 You know, my first reaction is, especially for small businesses, if you're a small business, it needs to be you. I mean, I know a lot of us do social media for a living, and it hurt, but it needs to be your voice. But the thing that an agency can help with, even as a small business, is deciding what that voice should be, right? How do you want to sound? What's your tone, right? We talked about the funny, the snarky, or the whatever. The agency can kind of help you along to find how you want to share. Because what happens is when your agency tweets for you is you have that what you're doing. But there are some great people who, if you're on a team, if you are a team of people and you can meet with them and say, here's our strategy and here's how we're going to use Twitter, any social network. I think agencies do a great job with strategy and branding and, of course, saving time, right? There are a lot of companies who really get it, right? But there's also a lot of them who are just like, oh, we can automate it and schedule it and do this. So you really have to find the people who understand what you want your voice to be and then can help you share it. Whether it's you doing it all the time or them doing it all the time, you have to find somebody who can connect and you can relate to that you trust, right? It's all about trust. A lot of people hire agencies, and we've seen the tweets from, you can Google, who was the fashion designer who hired an intern and then fired the intern without taking away their Twitter access, right? And I remember it was something Peter Shankman says, or maybe it was Scott Stratton. It's not about finding people or trusting them. It's, you know, you have to find people who connect with your brand in a way that you trust them, right? I think Scott says, stop hiring stupid people. But I don't want to say that. You can find people who actually can connect with your brand, understand your brand, users of your brand. If you don't have time, user-generated content is always great. That's how hashtags come into play. And so I would say the agency piece is where you would go to find your strategy, right? And then if you don't have time to do it yourself, make sure that the people that have access to your account you trust, right? And you trust with your brand, because that's what you're giving them. It's no different than the person who is at your front desk or answering your phone. If the person answering your phone is pissing off your customers, or not answering the phone on time with the right amount of rings or whatever it is, you're losing them. So if you do hire somebody, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, make sure that it's somebody that you trust and you can get with them on what your brand message is. It's a political answer, right? Exactly. The ROI of being on Twitter and on social media is that you'll be in business, right? Because people will be talking about you. So whether you have time to do it yourself you hire somebody, I suggest that it's a way for you to include it in your strategy. NASA tweets. I love when astronauts tweet from space. It really makes my toes curl. Right? It does. That was weird, huh? Okay. That was weird. It does. I don't know. Don't let them check in on Foursquare. It's over. Okay. All right, so I have one little message for you, and we'll talk about some giveaways too. Anybody else have questions? I'm looking for this. Anybody else have a question or a comment about Twitter? Did that answer your question okay? Or no? You can tell me. Say it again. Oh, that's a good question. I doubt Vine will come to Android. I can't even get Vine to play on Chrome. I mean, I can't even get Vine videos to play on Chrome. There's a plug-in, but I don't think Twitter and Google are happy with each other. So I wouldn't expect it. Sorry to be the bearer of. Okay, so I have some really fun goodies that I want to share with everybody because I don't think we talked about this yet. So I'm actually going to just play this video.